gonna get started. Let's kick the show off. All right. Is that all right with you?
Sounds great to me, Ab. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right. If there's one thing that people know, if there's one thing that's consistent with us, it is that we are going to open our show with what is your rate. It's our keystone. It's our cornerstone. Really, like if our show is ESPN, what's your rate? Sports Center. All right.
It's our cornerstone. Cornerstone.
Keystone Light. All right, so here we go. Some data came out this week. I'm gonna go over that really quickly and try not to bore people. So CPI, Consumer Price Index, which measures the cost of living, aka inflation, came out basically flat on Tuesday, but didn't go up, which is good.
Yeah.
Core CPI, which is the same measurement as CPI, but the core CPI, that measurement excluding food and energy. So when they measure that, the numbers, the data came in at a 2-year low, which, remember, these numbers coming in low is a good thing for interest rates.
Yeah.
And it's good. This particular number coming in low is a good thing for everyone because it's Consumer Price Index, cost of things. So cost of things came in at a 2-year low. On the following day, that came out on Tuesday. On the following day, Wednesday, the PPI, Producer Price Index, so the cost of these people producing the goods that we consume, that reading declined by 0.5%, which is the biggest decline month over month in 3 years. So these two reports coming in back to back, it helped the mortgage. It helped bond prices, in turn helping interest rates, I believe. But I'll turn to you for some direction as far as bond and rate. What did you see this week and wrapping the week up?
So, last Friday we were at 4.587, something like that. Today we're at 4.426, so we're trending down. Now you'll remember a month ago, right? The 10-year was pushing 5%, right? We were getting to a rut. We were getting to a very scary point, right? We were talking about rates in the 8s. Nobody likes hearing rates in the 8s. There was even talk about rates hitting double digits, right? Now we weren't saying that on our show, right? We're not insane. We're not crazy people,
right?
But there were some shows out there that were talking about rates are going to touch double digits and, trying to get people all up in arms. Like I said, not on our show. But now we're trending in the right direction. It's kind of like, it kind of goes down, it goes up, and then it goes down, it goes up. But overall, we're kind of looking at one of these guys, right? So what I'm saying is it's things are looking good. It's not necessarily the time to break out the cheese, right? But things are trending in a positive direction, right? So all we can hope for.
I hope that you let everyone know when it is time to break out cheese.
There's nothing I look forward to more than a time that I can hop on this show and tell everybody, get your cheese out. It's time to eat some cheese. A lot of cheese.
Maybe
so much cheese.
Maybe when that time comes, you'll just eat a whole freaking wheel of cheese right on the show.
I really want to commit to that, but I feel like my wife would not be happy if I did.
Put it on the line, online and on the line, that when the average offered 30-year fixed conventional rate hits 5.5%, when it breaks 5%, when it's 4.99 or lower, you'll eat a wheel of cheese on our show.
I don't think anybody wants to see that. I'm positive. I don't want to feel
half moon.
I'm gonna eat.
Will you go half moon?
Yeah, I'll go half moon. Well, how big? So what kind of cheese are we talking here? Right?
Provolone. Provolone.
I don't even know if provolone comes by the wheel. I think it just comes in a big round thing. I'm not eating a round thing of provolone this big. There's no way. I'll be divorced. I'd be absolutely.
Parmesan.
My wife would hate me. Definitely not eating Parmesan. That's way too. It's got too much punch to it. You know what I mean? I need something a little bit lighter. it's like crushing 5 pieces of Havarti. You know what I mean? It's just too dense, too heavy.
All right.
But
Here we go again. When
I
you
know,
lost me at Havarti, bro.
I know. So, but the point is, yeah, we're heading in the right direction, and when the time comes, I will let you know when to break the cheese out.
Yeah, and I think that we're all seeing a little more positivity. This is 3 weeks in a row of like positivity, trending in the right direction as far as rates goes. We've seen a small tick up in mortgage applications, so people are out there. People are getting excited and doing things. It's the holiday season is coming, and it's typical that even in the best of the market, the holiday season would mean a slowdown in mortgage applications. So seeing a bump in mortgage applications in the holiday season has to be an indication of people are, starting to make moves as rates come down. So
Yeah.
great.
And it's typically, to your point, this is not when you would see the uptick, right? You would definitely see around now people are, it's not a hot purchase time. And as far as refinances go, folks are much more focused on, the holidays, pretty much running up the bills, right? And usually after the holidays is when you see the boom and cash out refinances, because everybody overspends for the holidays. Why wouldn't you? That's the way we do things. So a little crazy that we're seeing that right now, but I definitely think that boom after the holidays, if the rates trend, keep trending in this direction, I think that we're really going to see a pretty big boom on the other side of the new year. So
Yep. Cool. That's what's your rate for the week.
what's your
Moving
rate?
on. Hey, we're right on time. Moving on. This is our second time doing this segment. Maybe it'll be a permanent lasting segment, maybe not. But this is where we kind of dive into some of the ins and outs, kind of process, trust the process. Maybe we'll change the name of this segment to trust the process. But
What's it called now?
FAQ.
Facts and queries.
Facts and queries.
Frequently
I don't know where
asked
you
questions.
got that. I love it. It's
Yeah.
so much better than frequently asked questions. Facts and queries. So this week, we've decided to focus on cash to close. What's it made up of? What are closing costs? What is down payment? How's it all come together at the end of the day at settlement? So Al, very general, very 50,000-foot view, whatever you call it, nuts and bolts. What's a down payment?
Overview. So we're going to give you an overview of that down payment. Down payment. So what a down payment is, it's a percentage of the purchase price, right, that the buyer is bringing to the table, okay, and bringing to the table at closing, which goes directly towards the loan balance. So, for example, if you're buying a house, let's say you're buying a house for $600,000, right? Get yourself a nice little piece of property, living out the American dream. And you're going to do that with 5% down, okay? The down payment is going to be $30,000. 5% of that $600,000, okay? So you're bringing the $30,000 to closing, and so what that's going to do at closing, instantly your balance goes from $600,000, takes your balance down to $570,000. Okay, so that down payment, that $30,000, 5%, whatever you want to call it, goes directly towards that loan balance, right? Initially, and it brings it down by that amount. So purchase price minus the down payment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense is where do closing costs come in? So down payment doesn't include closing costs?
No. Down payment is just a payment against the purchase price. Okay. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you explain these fine folks what the purchase price is, or what the closing costs are, if you'd be so kind.
What closing costs are?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, I'll take it. So you've taken care of the down payment piece.
Down payment.
Closing costs are going to be any expenses involved with the actual processing and doing of the mortgage loan. These are going to include things like prepaid items, so any taxes or homeowners insurance that you're going to prepay. appraisal fee, third-party stuff like title work, transfer taxes. The government's got to get theirs, so they tax the transaction. So that's a transfer tax. And then you got lender fees, things like credit report. We're going to pull credit. A third-party credit intermediary charges us to do that. And we just, charge you. And then we have per diem interest. Depending on what day you close in the month, you're going to have to pay interest from that day to the end of the month. And then, if you're going to do a buy down of the interest rate, maybe you're paying a point to buy the interest rate down from 6.5 to 6 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a closing cost as well. So yeah, those are the closing costs. So you have your down payment, which is in and of itself, and then you have your closing costs.
Okay. All right, so let me ask you this then, okay, Del Santos. You're throwing a lot of big numbers at me. Cut the bull, okay? Just give it to me straight. What the hell's the number I'm bringing to the table at closing? What am I going to have to bring to settle this damn thing?
So simply put as I can put it, your cash to close, the amount on the check you're writing at closing is the down payment plus the closing costs. Assuming there's no seller concessions and assuming the buyer is responsible and paying for all of their closing costs, cash to close is in this scenario, $30,000 plus whatever the closing costs add up to equals cash to close.
Yeah. So I think we could both agree, and that was a fantastic overview. Well done. I think we could both agree that we could probably spend an entire hour-long segment, right, talking about closing costs and what everything is that goes into that and the different things that might affect those closing costs, both from the lending side, from the seller side. But I think that's a pretty good 30,000-foot view to give folks an idea of what we're talking about when we talk about the down payment, the closing costs, the cash to close, all that good stuff. So
yeah. And a lot of people ask, especially first-time home buyers, they ask, like, do I pay my down payment? Like, do I write a check for down payment and write a check for closing costs? Or, like, how does that work? And
yeah,
it's all very simple once you understand the concept. And when you come to closing, you're going to write that check, and then the title company's job is to dish all that money out, disperse it. So disperse the portion that goes toward the loan to the against the loan, and then they cut checks out of your cash to close money. The title company cuts and disperses checks to the title company, to the credit reporting company, to the taxing authority, to Geico or whoever you use. So you worry about one bottom line, and then title company will dish it out.
Yeah. Well said. Very well said. That's good stuff.
All right, Al. What's your so that wraps up facts and queries.
Facts and queries.
Affectionately named by Al. Great. I got to give him a pat on the back for that name. All right.
Clever guy. Handsome too.
All right, Al. Are we doing hot takes this week? Do we have hot takes?
I think we could probably avoid hot takes this week. Do you want to do a hot take this week? Do you want to come up with something? You want to hit something now, quick? You want to drive something up?
Sometimes you're just not hot. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're having a bad hair day and you're not hot and you don't have any hot takes.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You got any hot takes? Hair day? Huh? Oof.
I got a hot take. I need a haircut.
Yeah, you and me both, pal.
Ooh, I got a hot take.
Right there with you. What do you got?
I've got a hot take. The greatest genre of music was early 2000s emo pop rock.
That's the greatest genre of music. That's the greatest genre of music. And I know you're just saying this to get me fired up, right? I know you're saying it to get me fired up. I think classic rock.
Your lipstick, his collar. Don't bother.
No, dude. I mean, I will say that you did get me into all that because I was very against it. Was not feeling it, right? When you were going through your whole emo thing in college and you know what I mean? Like, You had one.
I never went through an emo thing, dude. It's a
Well,
lifestyle.
Well, that's the crazy thing, and I'm so glad you said that because you don't realize it when you're in it. But all of us on the outside were like, "Man, Ab's in some serious emo thing, isn't he?" Right? But we didn't want to say it to you because we didn't want you to be self-conscious about being emo, because then you'd get emo about it, right?
Wait. That one time in sophomore year when I came to the house and everybody was sitting around in the couches, were you guys having an emo intervention and you bailed on it when I came in dressed normally?
We had to. I mean, you walked in, you said something along the lines of, "I'm here if you even care." And we were like, all right, let's just let this thing go. Let Ab be Ab.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on that hot take.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well,
I'm going to reinforce my
go
hot take. I'm going to reinforce my hot take from last week that if you I guess it's not quite as bad if you have Christmas decorations. I disagree with your points of view if you have Christmas decorations up right now. Let the holidays.
What about music? Is it okay for the music to start coming into play?
No, I don't, because I think if you start listening too early, right, it dilutes it. You know, there's a reason that 101.9, if I'm not mistaken, the way it used to be is 101.9 would start playing Christmas music, 24/7 after Thanksgiving, which is the way it should be. Give every season and holiday its due. If you start playing it too early, I mean, you already are hearing the same songs over and over and over again, and they're classics and they're great for a 30-day period. But now, you're talking about extending that for 60 days, and you just get burnt out of it, and then you don't want to hear them the next year. You extend it too much. That Christmas joy is supposed to be crammed into an area this big.
It's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year.
It's supposed to be
not every month can be the most. It can't be a 2-month most wonderful time of the year. You're getting greedy.
Yeah. I mean, you stretch it out, you spread it too thin, and it's just not nearly as good. People just ruin it.
One piece of cake is awesome. 2 pieces of cake, a little much. 3 pieces of cake, and you're no longer enjoying that cake.
No, it's a job at that point. Do you feel good about yourself afterwards either, right? Are you looking forward to eating a cake the next day? No, you're done with cake. You don't eat cake, right? You're caked out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I love it. Maybe your hot take can just be about Christmas music from now until it's appropriate, which probably is next week.
It's absolutely next week. It's after night. It's next Friday. Next Friday, go nuts, right? Love that. Have a ball. Listen to all the Christmas music.
Maybe, and I can't wait till December, our first show after Christmas, when you start going nuts about people still having decorations up. But we'll tackle that when the time comes.
But hold on, real quick. I would love to hear the argument from the other side, right? Because I would love to understand why people would put Christmas decorations up in the first week in November. I would love to hear anybody out there that disagrees with my point of view. First of all, you're wrong. But I would love to hear your point of view. I would love to hear why it's acceptable to listen to Christmas music and put decorations up, and not to mention all the commercials. It's the consumerism. It's the, all these Christmas commercials trying to get you to buy now. You know what I mean? You need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. We wonder why credit card bills are through the roof. And then you have to come talk to me and Ab about getting it all paid off. So that's the rant.
Hold on, let me call Carly real quick.
Sorry,
viewers.
She's the opposite.
Hey, Car. Hey, what are you doing?
Playing with Enzo.
Can you get on me and Al's show for a second? Oh, there she is.
Hello.
Hey, Car.
Hi, Al. Why can't I see you?
You can't see me?
I can't see anybody but myself.
Ab, do the thing. There you go.
Oh,
there we go.
Hi.
Ab's the tech guy.
You guys are matching.
Ab did.
Carly,
I
how
was
much
already wearing this, and Ab was scrambling before the show looking for something to wear.
Okay, we'll make it quick. Hey, Enzo.
Enzo, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Oh no, he's
The
about to
entire
cry.
world is watching.
He's erupting.
Okay, we'll make it quick, Carly.
All right, you ready?
We needed your perspective on something. Go ahead, Al.
My hot take is that it is absolutely preposterous and ridiculous for anybody to put up Christmas decorations or listen to Christmas music before Thanksgiving. I think it's absolutely insane. I don't know how you could possibly do it. You spread the Christmas cheer too thin and it dilutes it and makes it not nearly as good. So I would love to hear the perspective of somebody who completely disagrees with me, right? Who sees things the opposite way.
Well, my main question is, why do you care so much about what other people do and the joy and the comfort of their own home?
All
Stop me
right,
on
all
the
right. That's a
cashier
valid.
car.
I'll be the moderator.
Okay,
I'll moderate.
But it's forced down my throat when I have to go to people's houses and they got all their Christmas decorations. Or if you're driving and you see, can't we just enjoy one holiday at a time?
But there's
And
no
I see the
Thanksgiving
commercials
decor.
and hear the music, right?
I didn't decorate yet for Christmas, but I do listen to Christmas music already.
So, and you think that is, you don't think that listening to it too early, kind of like it's not as exciting, it's not as fun for the amount of time that you're doing it?
No, the Christmas season's too short.
Yeah.
Needs to be expanded.
Give us your quick opinion on why it's okay to start doing it November 10th.
I don't know. Because it's the Christmas cheer. It makes everybody happier.
Yeah, but not if
Okay.
you start it too soon. Then it's
And Thanksgiving's just one day. It's not a Thanksgiving season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Christmas is only one day.
No,
know
it's a
what I mean?
whole. Well, actually, it's a whole week if you're religious, but it's a whole month. Christmas.
Yeah. No, I
It's
agree. I think that if you keep it short and sweet, if you keep it to the month of December plus a week, it makes it so much better because you just have so much more cheer in this amount of time than Christmas cheer. We got to start with the Christmas cheer.
Only a Scrooge gets tired of Christmas cheer. My gosh.
There you go.
I have another.
I think it comes down to you not being able to handle the Christmas cheer. Go ahead,
I think
Car.
it's a personal issue.
There's a lot of people out there that agree with me.
I have a woman who would not agree with you.
Yeah.
And she's walking to my front door.
Is it your mother? It is, isn't it? Oh, of all people, I knew it. This couldn't be any better. Could not be any better.
Mom.
Susie.
Hey.
You're live on the show.
Oh, awesome.
So I was just talking about how ridiculous and crazy it is for people to celebrate the Christmas season before Thanksgiving is over, to put up decorations and listen to music. What do you think about these nut jobs out there doing this?
I think everybody except for me and Carly should do it after Thanksgiving.
I respect that.
You're allowed to.
I play Christmas music blasting in my car when I'm alone. I'm forbidden to do it before Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of Bill? See, Bill sees it the right way.
Because of everybody
So hold
else.
on, Al. Mom.
Yes.
Al's claim is that if you start too soon, it dilutes the cheer, and you can't make it through Christmas cheery, and you're over it by the time Christmas comes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does that hold true for me? Or do I get
No,
more
not for you.
excited by the time Christmas gets here?
Yeah, but you're just always
It
happy.
just builds and
excited.
builds and builds and builds.
Yeah, but you're just cut from a different cloth, Susie. You're different. You're just always happy and excited.
I think you're just a Scrooge.
Haven't I always been though?
Yeah.
Have I changed at all?
Only because
Al's a Scrooge. All right,
Yeah.
Car. Thanks for jumping in.
All right. See
Can't
ya.
wait to
Love
see
ya.
See you soon, Car. See you this weekend.
See ya.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
well, there you
Al.
have it. There you have it.
Well, you got someone's opinion.
Why am I-
that was a
why
great
am
little
I don't
drop
like
in.
why am I big screen? I don't like being big screen.
Big screen guy. So, all right, let's get into let's keep this thing rolling. My
Yeah.
baby's whining, so we'll do opinionated and then we'll wrap it up.
And close this
Maybe
thing
I
up.
don't know. We'll see. Hold on one second. All right. These shows get a little hectic, huh?
Yeah, they get a little crazy. Well, you got to introduce a little madness, a little chaos into the show. You got to inject it.
What we really need to do is, I mean, we can't do it when I'm at home watching the baby. It's just tough. But all right, moving on. Our next segment is brought to you by Vincent.
Man.
Okay, it's pretty serious opinionated as far as our opinionateds go.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily our lane, but it's news, and we should talk about it. Recently, there was a class action lawsuit between some people, I believe it was in Missouri, some home sellers in Missouri, against the National Association of Realtors and a couple of mortgage real estate companies. The headline or the article that we're highlighting is headline: $1.8 billion lawsuit could upend the real estate industry. A class action lawsuit where sellers argued that these fees, the commissions, hurt consumers by artificially inflating home prices. And a lot of people believe that the verdict, or a lot of real estate agents, people in the industry, believe that the verdict could result in buyers having to pay buyer agent commissions and the sellers paying sellers agent commissions, whereas right now the seller pays both commissions. I've talked a lot. Why don't you tell us what you think, and then I'll tell you what I think.
I mean, I think the most obvious and the most glaring thing here. I mean, I definitely understand the whole 5 to 6%. It's a lot of money, right? It's a hefty amount, and that's definitely I can understand that driving prices up. But by the same token, if you have buyers pay, the challenge that you're going to run into is, it's not just that 3 to 5% down payment, right, to get your first home. You're looking at 3% plus, another 3% or 2.5% for that the commission for the real estate agent, which when you have a time when it's the absolute hardest time in history to be a first-time home buyer, it's only going to make it more difficult, right? So it's a huge challenge. You have to kind of see both sides of it, but that definitely, I think, having the buyer pay impacts everybody in the industry, right? It significantly impacts everybody in the industry because buyers aren't going to be able to, afford the houses, right? They already struggle to afford the houses. So how's that going to make it any easier? That's kind of my 2 cents on it.
Cool. So I should have went first because, I mean, that's what I was going to say. But
Well, I knew that's what you were going to say because we talked about it before, so I went ahead and stole it. Let's see how good you are.
No, you didn't steal it, but it's the right, or it's the clear outcome.
Yeah.
People have affordability's down, and if a buyer has to worry about paying a 2 to 3% commission on top of their 3 to 5% down payment out the gate, not even including closing costs, it's going to just cause affordability to go down. It's going to make it harder on the consumers. Whereas, as it stands right now, it kind of works. But, and I'm all for competition and like the free market, but if you've got a scenario where you have a buyer's agent now is negotiating with the buyer the commission, and then business starts going to agents who are willing to work for nothing, then you got to start wondering what kind of quality of service are those people going to provide their buyers.
Sure.
For a reduction of, let's say 3, down to 1% or
right.
0.5% or whatever, who knows? So my opinion on the whole thing is I agree with you. It's going to hurt affordability, obviously. And then my like, I guess maybe hot take opinion would be like, these people, I don't even, you're selling your house. There's a way that things are done. I'm sure you are aware of how things are done. And then after the fact, you do a class action lawsuit. You shouldn't, I'm not a big lawsuit guy.
Yeah.
And, my opinion, I don't know why there was a case and how they won. I don't see either of it. I think it's all kind of just hogwash, if you ask me.
And
it hurts our industry. And on the mortgage end of things, we're gonna so if it changes, then what does that do to affordability? What's it do to the closing disclosure? Is it going to go on the closing disclosure? Is it going to be part of our high price mortgage loan calculation? Is it going to be how is it going to be considered in our end? Or there's going to be a whole domino effect of guidelines that are going to have to change and things that are going to have to happen.
Can it be
already
paid by seller concessions, right? How is this?
Right.
What are the different ways that this can be paid for? Yeah, all great points.
to an already struggling industry.
Right. And you went to a real estate meeting earlier this week, and I remember you said something about a lot of the this came up and how those realtors were up in arms about this. How are we going to navigate these waters? What if people do cut their commission so they can get more business? And while those concerns are valid, these are the things that we as loan officers deal with, right? So we understand, but we don't necessarily sympathize. Right. This is what we've been dealing with for a while, right? Those are the struggles of doing business, right? And to your point, if folks are willing to cut their commissions, how does that look from a service standpoint? Are they still going to be able, or if they're not making as much money, are they still going to provide the same high level of service? I think it depends on the person, right? Some are, and some it's just a numbers game, right? You just got to do more volume, and it's not necessarily about the quality as much as the quantity. So
right.
Yeah. So definitely a lot that goes into that,
A lot more. Yeah. A lot more than a couple, a handful of sellers thinking that they got duped. There's a lot more that's going to go into it. So, it'll be appealed, I think, probably. And, it's probably a long road to like what actually happens, but yeah, it's newsworthy for sure, especially on a mortgage show.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Good stuff. So,
all right, what do you think? How far? We're 35 minutes in. What do you think? That's a good show?
I think it's a great show. It's a really good show. Just a quick PSA for all you folks out there looking to gobble up real estate, right? All you folks looking to gobble up real estate. Now, if you don't talk to me and Ab, right, it's not going to make a hill of green beans, right? And some turkey's going to swoop in and grab a house from under you. Now, I don't want to mash your potatoes here, okay? But as long as you come talk to me and Ab, right, before you start this process, it's going to all be gravy. And I know the rates are high, and we're not too happy about that. But if you do it now, and we can refinance you later, well, then you can have your pie and eat it too, right? So just a couple of words before we go.
That's very, very nice. And if you do find yourself, in a situation where you come to us for a mortgage, there will be many Thanksgiving.
There will indeed.
Well said, Al. That is fantastic, man. You slam poetry. All those years of slam poetry really paid off.
Right? Who would have thought, buddy? Who would have thought? To all the naysayers out there, look at me now.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother. Well, great show. Have a great weekend, or have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good, amigo. Looking forward to it. I'll see you, brother.
All right. See ya.